The Galactic Council chamber resonated with the chittering laughter of the Vex High delegation, their crystalline voices creating a symphony of mockery that echoed off the polished walls. Ambassador Threllax of the mighty Corvani Empire leaned, back in his hover seat, all four of his arms crossed in dismissive amusement as he examined the holographic display floating before the assembly. These are supposed to be warships? Threllax's voice dripped with condescension as he gestured toward the images of human vessels. They looked like cargo haulers with guns strapped to their hulls. The human representative, Admiral Sarah Chen, stood quietly at the podium, her weathered hands clasped behind her back. Her expression remained neutral, despite the waves of laughter, washing over her from the various alien delegations. She had expected this reaction. "The structural integrity is laughable," announced High Technician Cordoon of the Zalari Collective, his multiple eye stalks swiveling to examine the human ships from different angles. No quantum shielding, no antimatter cores, no gravitational manipulation systems. How do they even achieve faster than light travel? "Primitive fusion drives in something they call slip space," replied Threllax, consulting his datapad. "Apparently, they tear holes in reality itself. Barbaric and inefficient." More laughter erupted throughout the chamber. The humans had only recently discovered they weren't alone in the universe, and their technology seemed centuries behind the galactic standard. Their ships were bulky, crude-looking affairs made of steel and composite materials, powered by what the Council considered ancient technology. Admiral Chen finally stepped forward to address the assembly. "Honored delegates, while our ships may appear unconventional by your standards, they have served us well. We've come here not to boast of our military might, but to request membership in your Galactic Council and to offer our assistance against the growing Void threat." The Void, a mysterious force that had been consuming entire star systems at the galaxy's edge, leaving nothing but empty space in its wake. Dozens of advanced civilizations had already fallen to this incomprehensible enemy. "Your assistance?" Threllax's laugh was particularly harsh. "Child species, your entire fleet couldn't stop a single Void Leviathan. Your weapons are kinetic projectiles and chemical explosives. You fight wars like primitives hurling rocks." Fleet Commander Zyth of the Dominion nodded in agreement. "The Void entities are energy-based beings that exist partially outside our dimension. They consume matter and convert it to pure entropy. What possible threat could your metal boxes pose to such creatures?" Admiral Chen's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "Perhaps we could demonstrate?" "Demonstrate?" Threllax stood, his imposing 8-foot frame casting a shadow over the human delegation. "There's nothing to demonstrate. Your species will evacuate the outer colonies and leave the fighting to those actually equipped for it. Consider yourselves lucky that we're willing to protect you at all." The session ended with the human request for military participation formally denied. As the delegates filed out, their conversations continued to mock human quaintness and their adorable attempts at space warfare. 3 weeks later, the Void reached the Kepler sector. The Council's combined fleets engaged the enemy with all their technological superiority: energy weapons that could crack planets, shields that bent space-time itself, and artificial intelligence, systems that could process 1 million battlefield calculations per second. The battle was magnificent to behold, a light show of advanced destruction that painted the Void in brilliant colors. It lasted exactly 14 minutes. The Void entities absorbed the energy weapons, turned the shields against their creators, and corrupted the AI systems with their mere presence. Within hours, 3 more star systems had gone dark, their suns extinguished as if they had never existed. Emergency sessions were called. Panic spread through the galactic community as their most advanced civilizations fell silent one by one. The Corvani Empire's core world stopped responding. The Zalari Collective's hive mind network went offline. System after system simply vanished. It was then that Admiral Chen's voice crackled through the Council's emergency channels. "This is Admiral Chen of the Terran Defense Force. We're detecting massive Void incursions in the galactic core sectors. Are any Council fleets still operational? How are you still alive?" came the desperate response from one of the few surviving Council representatives. Your sector should have been consumed days ago. We're holding the line at the Centauri perimeter, Chen replied calmly. Sending you tactical data now. The data streams showed something impossible. Human ships, those same crude metal boxes the Council had mocked, were engaging void entities in sustained combat, not just surviving, but winning. How? The question came from multiple surviving delegates simultaneously. Turns out our primitive approach has some advantages, Chen explained, as her forces continued their impossible fight. Void entities feed on exotic energy and advanced technology. They can't process kinetic rounds traveling at significant fractions of light speed. They can't corrupt simple mechanical systems. And they definitely can't absorb the detonation of a fusion warhead delivered by a barbaric slipspace torpedo. The tactical feeds showed human vessels unleashing storms of projectile weapons, not elegant energy beams, but simple chunks of depleted uranium accelerated to tremendous speeds. Where Council ships had tried to match the Void's sophistication, humans had simply refused to play by those rules. Your antimatter cores become bombs in their presence, Chen continued. Your quantum computers become doorways for their influence. Your gravitational weapons become tools they can turn against you. But a steel hull, chemical explosives, and good old-fashioned ballistics, they don't know what to do with something. So, analog. As if to emphasize her point, the tactical display showed a human cruiser ramming a void leviathan at near light speed, its nuclear payload detonating on impact and actually destroying the seemingly invincible entity. We've been fighting them for weeks, Chen said, slowly pushing them back. But we could use some help. If any of you have ships that can be retrofitted with primitive weapon systems. The silence on the communication channels was deafening. Finally, a humbled voice spoke up. Threlax, now commanding one of the last surviving Council ships from a backup facility, light years from the front lines. Admiral Chen, he said quietly. The Galactic Council formally requests immediate military assistance from the Terran Defense Force. Command authorization is yours. Chen allowed herself a small smile. Copy that, Council Command. Terran, reinforcements are already en route. And don't worry, we'll teach you how to build proper warships, the kind that actually work when the stars go silent. Across the galaxy, human factory ships began converting surviving alien vessels, stripping away their sophisticated systems and replacing them with crude but effective human technology. Steel hulls, kinetic weapons, simple computers that couldn't be corrupted, and the kind of straightforward engineering that had gotten humanity to the stars in the first place. The Void had consumed the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy, but they had never faced an enemy so primitive that their very simplicity became a weapon. The Council had stopped laughing.